Heisman was a takeaway for me this weekend. I didn't think I'd think about the Heisman in September, and yet it's kind of a fun one to think about this year. Usually it's like, a couple quarterbacks. This one's interesting. Travis Hunter of Colorado.
Best player in the sport. It's not even close.
I totally agree with you.
Not even a debate.
What he does both sides every single weekend, he's asked to do, asked to be. They went down to UCF, and they embarrassed the Knights.
That is the best win for Deion, and I don't even know if it's close. Like the TCU one in the opener caught everybody off guard because they were such a big underdog. TCU sucked last year.
That was his arrival win, though. Of I'm not.
Do you believe now?
Yeah, that was what that was.
And then after that, they beat Nebraska, who didn't have a functioning offense. Colorado State was terrible. Those were their wins after that. This is one where your season maybe was saved by a Hail Mary. And to back it up, UCF was a very trendy pick last week because they were a dark horse for a lot of folks in the Big 12. People were asking, Josh Pate included, why are they not ranked in the top 25? Like, that's a good team with a good quarterback. And they went in there and dominated them.
I'm with you there. Best win for Deion, and Hunter has a big game. The other name on this list has to be Ashton Jeanty, the running back for Boise State. He has 845 45 yards.
That would be a lot of touchdowns.
That would be a record.
That would definitely be a record. Feels like he has that many touchdowns.
13 touchdowns.
13 tutties.
They've played 4 games.
He has 13 tutties in 4 games. He is on pace.
He almost has 1,000 yards in 4 games.
He is on pace to break Barry Sanders' single-season rushing touchdown record, which is 37 in 12 games. And he's on pace to break Barry Sanders' single-season yards record, which is 2,628.
Now, look, when we did our big peepees, I took Boise with the points. Part of this is, and PFF put this out, you know who the worst tackling team in college football is?
After Saturday, I'll answer that question.
It's Washington State by a sizable percentage. If I'm a Coug fan, I'm a little concerned.
Although he is a monster, he is a bit of a different behemoth.
He is. But when you can't tackle well, you put yourself and you lend yourself into positions against teams that maybe you shouldn't. And so I don't know what Washington State's going to be going forward. I do think Boise State is the best team in this Mountain West Pac-12 merged this year. I think they're better than Oregon State and Washington State.
That feels like a playoff team.
He's unbelievable. I mean, go look at the touchdowns he scored. It's not that he scored. It's that on every touchdown, it feels like he's breaking 12 tackles.
Yeah, like he's doing it all by himself.
And it sucked because his jersey blended into the turf. But if you watch the highlights, he's tackled at the line of scrimmage, and then he's breaking to the next layer of defense, and then he's tackled again, and then he breaks to the secondary, and then he breaks through the secondary, and then he's gone.
He just runs away from everybody.
He's unbelievable, this Jeanty kid, and I think it's him and Hunter, 1-2 in the Heisman race, however you want to differentiate that. The third guy in this is Milroe.
Yeah.
He had almost 500 yards passing. He was unbelievable against Georgia. Cam Ward will probably get an invite because Miami's always a story for people. They're going to be at game day's location this weekend.
He had that shovel pass at the end of the game that saved him should have been a sack.
His touchdown celebration now is becoming viral from opponents doing it to him, and people in the NFL are now doing it. College kids are doing it. But I think it's a 3-horse race at this point. Now it's early to be doing Heisman talk, but this is a fun Heisman race. This is a different one than we've ever had, with a running back in the Mountain West, a two-way player on a Big 12 team, and Bama's quarterback is almost always a guy who's just known as a handoff guy because Bama's running in defense.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a fun race. The problem is one of the players I don't think is being watched by anybody in America.
No, I don't know if anybody's seen Ashton Jeanty's games.
It's crazy. I think he's flying way under the radar.
Their biggest game that they almost won was the Oregon game, and that was a Peacock game. That was a horrible product and quality. They kept cutting out. It was a terrible broadcast. So that would have been the most watched game had it been on a linear television channel, but it was not. And then they played Portland State. Who do they play in week 1? Like Georgia Southern or something?
Georgia Southern,
Southern, who they had in week 1.
He had a massive game.
He did. He went for like 300 yards and 7 touchdowns or something insane in that game. They'll have opportunities the rest of the way, but this one probably got lost in the shuffle a little bit for folks being a late night game, and the Oregon game was on at the same time. Arizona-Utah was on at the same time, and so there was 3 different games going on. They get UNLV in a couple of weeks. That might be a game that a lot of folks now are paying attention to. And then outside of that, honestly, man, the only other games that they have that are on national television, they, for some reason, are playing Nevada on Fox. I don't know what time. That'll likely be an 8 o'clock kick. And then it's your beefs when you go there at the end of November. Those are the only other games that they have that are on network television, not like FS1, FS2, CBS Sports Network. And so he's going to keep doing this all year, and you're just going to look up and be like, oh, Hey, Ashton Genty had another 274 yards and 5 touchdowns last night. It is insane watching him do what he did. He made Washington State look like a JV defense on Saturday night.
Yes.
And Washington State, I know, doesn't have the best defense in the world, but like to do that to a college defense and to break that many tackles behind the line of scrimmage, you're just simply in awe. And we've never seen somebody do what Travis Hunter is doing, ever, in the history of the sport.
No.
Guys have gone both ways. You've had linebackers and fullbacks, and you had Charles Woodson, and there's certain guys that have done it. Nobody in every snap, and you can make a clear argument, is the best player on the field on both sides of the ball.
Brock made the point on the broadcast during the game. They looked up the most losses for a Heisman winner, and every play he made, I mean, it's just one of those, like, Colorado, and they're an interesting Big 12 team. You look at their schedule.
Dude, the Big 12 is wide open.
It's wide open.
Utah still has a quarterback injury.
Yep.
Is Arizona good? Kansas State's not trustworthy.
Right. Oklahoma State is a disappointment so far. Right. Baylor's probably going to fire Aranda. BYU's undefeated.
Yes.
I don't know what to make of that.
BYU or Iowa State now the team to beat.
But if Colorado is 7-5, 8-4,
and he does it and stays healthy,
he stays healthy,
yeah,
he's going to be in New York.
Yeah.
And you think he's going to win?
I would give it to him.
Because JT may break the rushing record, and then Milroe might win the SEC and have all these passing stats.
Milroe's awesome, but we've seen quarterbacks have incredible run. Like if Genty breaks the rushing record, that's what then brings this into consideration.
Because I think he's number 2, and I think Hunter doing both sides stuff as they win.
You have to give him a leg up. He's doing it on. He's the best player on the field on both sides of the ball for his team.
I miss Richard Sherman called him a subpar receiver.
What are we doing? Maybe we're just stupid. People are stupid, man. I'm like trying to find a way to excuse that in my head. And I'm like, no, there's no way. He's the best player on their team.
He's good. He's
like,
just
I don't know if
really
he's
good.
going to be Jamar Chase in the NFL, but he's an unbelievable college wide receiver.
Might be Sauce Gardner. I don't know.
Yes, he very well could be.
It's a fun one. And I didn't think we'd talk about Heisman in September, but this one's unique. It's fun. It's different.
Yeah, it's not just the best quarterback in the SEC or the best player on the best team. Like Carson Beck winning the Heisman would suck.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that doesn't look like it's going to happen, and we're getting these fun storylines.